Good afternoon, and welcome to the 11th Annual Aging Together 5 over 50 celebration. Thank you so much for joining us at one of the 4 watch parties throughout our region. My name is Ray Parks. I'm the Director of Community Connections for Older Adults at Encompass Community Supports and the Chair of the Board of Directors for Aging Together. Aging Together connects people to communities and to resources to improve quality of life as we age. We are grateful to Johnny Krawchuk and Culpeper Media for all they do to make this event possible. This event is scheduled to take place each May to align with Older Americans Month. Older Americans Month celebrates the contributions older adults make to a community. This year, the theme for Older Americans Month is Powered by Connection, which recognizes the profound impact that meaningful relationships and social connections have to our health and well-being. Aging Together and our many partners play a key role in making connections. We support independence and aging in place while working to overcome isolation and loneliness. Please stay in touch with us to continue the conversation and to help create solutions. Now, it is my pleasure to introduce Ellen Phipps, Executive Director of Aging Together.
Thank you, Ray, and thanks to each one of you for joining us for this 5 over 50 celebration tonight. It's my pleasure to be here. The contributions of older adults in the Commonwealth is really significant. In fact, you may be surprised to know that older adults contribute over $38 billion of paid and unpaid contributions throughout the Commonwealth. That's just staggering and cannot be overstated. Tonight, we are going to celebrate just a few of these selfless human beings. Congratulations to Butch Davies of Culpeper County, Troy and Karen Coppage of Madison County, Steph Ritter of Rappahannock County, Donna Waugh Robinson of Orange County, and Carolyn Kirkland of Fauquier County. In just a little bit, we're going to hear a lot more about these incredible people. I'd also like to take a moment to thank our sponsors. Our premier presenting sponsor for this event is the Regional Transportation Collaborative. Other sponsors include Encompass Community Supports, Culpeper Human Services, Rappahannock Department of Social Services, and Rapid Home. We could not do this event without your support, and we thank you so much. I'd also like to thank our hosts, Pepper's Grill in Culpeper, Path Foundation in Fauquier County, the Washington Fire Hall in Rappahannock County, and the Community Center of Orange County. Thank you once again, and again, congratulations to these wonderful people who are being celebrated tonight. And thank you to each of you for joining us. Enjoy the show.
I am Donna Waugh Robinson, the Aging Together 5 over 50 recipient for Orange County.
I'm Carolyn Kirkland.
My name is Stephanie Ritter, and I am the 5 over 50 award recipient for Rappahannock County.
Yeah, I'm Butch Davies.
Hi, I'm Karen Coppage.
And I'm Troy Coppage, and we are the Madison County recipients of the 5 over 50 award.
Grew up during World War II. My dad died from a heart attack, and there were 5 of us, and we ended up being sent to an orphanage in Illinois called Mooseheart. There, they offered scholarships to everybody. Went into nurses training, loved my nurses training. So one of the things I did do eventually was to become a nurse in the Navy. So that was a wonderful experience. And my husband was coming back the same year from Vietnam. I didn't know that. His best friend was running the BOQ, and have I got a guy for you? And you go, yeah, right. You know, I don't think so. Anyway, it did turn out he was the right one. And so we met in 71, got married in 72. They wanted to send him to one place and send me to another. That was like I don't think so. And we both got out in 77 and chose Virginia. He was from Alabama, I was from Illinois. What could you say?
I grew up here. It's really interesting. My great-grandfather was the first commissioner of revenue here, then my grandfather, then my grandmother, who was the first woman elected to county office, and then my uncle for more than 40 years. And they all were actively involved in politics in the locality, and they absolutely believed that Culpeper was God's creation. I was at Randolph-Macon in college. It was 1969, and I wanted to be a journalist. And I had applied to Syracuse and Missouri to journalism school. And they didn't give exemptions from the draft for journalism. And I said, wait a minute. If I'm going to avoid having to go to Vietnam, then I really ought to seriously look at a profession where I have an exemption. So I decided, well, I'll go to law school. I was there for a year, and they did away with the draft for lawyers. And I ended up going into the military, serving in the United States Army, and then came back to law school in the summer, and then finished in 1973, and came back here to practice law. But the town of Culpeper had 2,500 people. The county had 22,000 people. Look at it today. It's astounding how it's grown, and it's been enjoyable being a part of that growth.
Let's see, I was the legal aid attorney for some 10 years with Rappahannock Legal Services. We had an office in Culpeper, and then I retired from that. Then I started teaching at George Washington University in the law school. I taught family law, gender discrimination, reproductive rights, which are dwindling. What else did I teach? Sexuality in the law. They always said they referred to me at the time as the left wing of the law school. So I ended up here because I was a legal services attorney for Rappahannock, Culpeper, Orange, Madison, Fauquier counties. So my office was in Culpeper, but my home was here. And I lived here actually until, well, I've lived here since 1980.
I was basically born and raised here. It's a family business. My grandmother was a clore, so I've been here been working here my entire adult life. Been around the place my whole life. So it's kind of in my blood.
We've been together since our first date was February 1st in 2013, and we got married April 8th, 2014. So our anniversary is coming up, the big 10-year soon.
Well, I do run the Orange County Children's Toy Box. It's a 501c3 non-for-profit organization. I have a board. I have thousands of people that volunteer and help, so it's not just me. I'm just kind of the mouthpiece for it. But we do the shopping, the packing, and the delivery for those children. And it can be upwards to 800 plus children, and they're all residents of Orange County. So it really is about a neighbor helping a neighbor. Let's see, I'm past president of the Orange Chamber of Commerce, Orange County Chamber of Commerce. I've served on the Orange Downtown Alliance. I'm currently an elected official for the Town Council for Orange. Previously, before that, I was an elected official for the Orange County School Board. I'm also a Rotarian, Rotary Club member. I'm a member of the St. Thomas Episcopal Church. I'm a wife, mother of two. How many fingers and toes do I have?
I think that, well, for one thing, I've been in the county a long time, and I've been involved in a lot of the organizations, like the Child Care and Learning Center. I was on that board in 1980, and then again, fairly recently, I think I've spent about like 14 years on that board if you put it all together. I've been working with the Virginia Working Landscapes for as long as it's been in existence, and I worked on the PEC and with the Headwaters Foundation now. I guess I have a lot of interests, and I really enjoy working with the people. You know, like the staff at Headwaters. You couldn't pick more interesting, caring young people. I mean, it's really a privilege to be around them, and I feel that same way about Virginia Working Landscapes. Is they're young people who are dedicating their lives to protecting the environment, improving education, and my access to them is through volunteering, and so it's tremendously rewarding.
I've been involved with the fire department my whole life, basically. That's another generational thing. My grandfather was a member. My father was chief for 17 years when I was growing up, so it's been a lifelong thing of mine. And then we've also been involved with Beth Carr Baptist Church since we've been together. And then I'll let her speak on it, but Madison Day is a little project that she and God put together that came out of that. So I'll let her elaborate on that.
Madison Day, we're going to hold our 5th Madison Day on May 11th this year. And Madison Day was a crazy idea that God kind of just thought we could do, and told him I was crazy. He was crazy a couple times and finally did it. And we have volunteers in the community that come out for one day a year, and they work on homes for people in the community. Usually it's widows or widowers or elderly, that can't do their own repairs in their homes. And first Madison Day, we started out with 19 projects and 300 volunteers. Last year was 25 projects and 675 volunteers. So that's just a cause that's very near and dear to my heart.
Yeah, but I think Kelsey's Big Give, I think she had participated in Kelsey's Big Give in Culpeper, and that the idea grew from that. Year number 1, she rounded up a committee of interested folks and randomly came up with a goal of 8 to 10 projects and 100 volunteers. And as she said, we had 270 volunteers and I think 19 projects the very first year. And it has grown from there. COVID kind of set it back a little bit, but it certainly has grown from there. Been a member of the fire department for over 43 years. It's a lifelong thing, it's in my blood. And I don't know what life would be like without it, really. It's rarely probably a day that goes by that I don't have some involvement with the fire department. Something, either answering calls or something behind the scenes. So it's just part of my life.
Actually, my daughter worked for social services up until a couple of years ago, and I was aware of what they did, and I helped out there too. I used to drive children, to different visits and stuff, but they're just my heroes. I mean, what they do for the children in the community is just amazing, and the way they do it. And so I figured if I could help support them by being on the board, that would be awesome, because they're just, the things they do in this county is pretty awesome.
Very involved, mission work. I try to go on at least 2 trips a year somewhere outside the area in addition to what we do locally, but mission work has been special to me. Picked up some construction experience over the years, partly through building my own house, but and I've learned a lot through going on trips with others, but that's something that I really enjoy doing.
And Boulder Crest got Bud and my attention immediately, going out to see how we could help. Boulder Crest is a retreat for combat vets from Iraq, Afghanistan, and it's a program to help them with PTSD. You know, knowing what they have been through. A lot of these guys are Iraq, Afghanistan, and so they come back trying to find their place in life, where they're safe and where other people understand what they've been through. The other program I'm involved in as an ambassador is Heroes Bridge. And that's a great program, and that's helping veterans all over Culpeper, all over this area, to know that someone cares about them, you know, trying to meet their needs, whatever it may be. It could be something so simple, doing a ramp for somebody that's in a wheelchair, or helping them get to a doctor appointment, or helping them get groceries, or, you know, just being there to listen to them.
My very first board was the Mental Health Foundation here, Mental Health Association. It has taken a long time, and we still have things to do in mental health, but we have made enormous progress here. My most recent involvement has been with the area on aging, and I look around at the various needs in the community, whether they be transportation, whether they be health care, whether they be access to grocery stores. You know, you look at the needs in the community, you know, whether it's health care, whether it's the community college, whether it's downtown Renaissance, whether it's our transportation. I mean, I've been involved in so many things. None of them just jumps out and seizes you. When I walk down Davis Street in Culpeper, I take pride in what's here. I mean, it makes you feel good to see what's happened and where we were in the 70s and where we are today. To me, it was what I was raised to do. I can remember my uncle was so involved in a variety of entities, and he basically said, you know, if you're going to live here, you need to contribute here, and so that's the premise I've operated on, and it's funny. It's evolved from one thing to the next.
It was just brought up in me by my parents to be a steward of the community that you live in, to be a good steward, to give back. You know, just don't always be a taker, be a giver. I think I think busy people just do. I'd rather be busy than not.
I think commitment to community. Yeah. And caring for all the members in that community. You know, I think actually when I think about my parents, the one thing that was really important to them was that you be a good citizen in whatever way you might want to define that. And I think that we all, you know, there were four of us, and I think we all grew up with that as a kind of motto, that you know, that you have a civic obligation, I guess, where if you see something that needs to be done and you think you can do it, you should try doing it.
I don't stop and think about that part of it. I don't know. I just do. I don't have any reason to not. You know, I think we're supposed to put our talents to use, and God gave me the ability to work with my hands, and I try to do that when I can.
I think it's the same thing. I mean, I feel like God just wants us to love our neighbors and just, you know, feel what they feel and support them when they're going through hard times, or, you know, in any way. When my kids were little, we used to do a lot of volunteering. Like, we even worked a horse camp one year, and my kids were like, "Mom, like, we won't do this again, please, because this is not." But I remember thinking at the time, like, first of all, it's good that they were involved, because that's how it starts. But I was like, they're either going to hate volunteering or they're going to love it. And then, so now the both of them, my son is in the volunteer fire company here too, as well as paid. And my daughter is working at social services, and she just does everything she can to try to help people. So I felt like it worked, you know?
It's not even an option. I don't even think about it. I don't think, gosh, there's an opportunity to help. Because I'm a veteran, it's even more important. That's all I can say about it, because I am a veteran. And I've seen guys coming back from World War II and Korea and Vietnam and all these other skirmishes in between that nobody pays attention to them. We got a lot of people that are protest the wars. Really? Let's say, put your money where your mouth is. That's the way I look at some of these people.
There are so many people who've been involved, who've helped make things happen in this community, whether it's the volunteer fire department, volunteer rescue squad. I mean, you look at the people who are now actively involved, who make things happen, they all had people before them.
But I think this community is very close. It always has been. People seem to know people all over the place, you know, no matter where they are. So, and of course, I think the events that happen on Friday night and the weekends are another example of people getting together. They don't know each other. You bump into, oh, hi, where do you live? So a lot of people from other areas come here. They come to the restaurants. They come, you know, to do some shopping. Let's be clear. We have, you know, it's pretty clear what Warrenton and Fauquier have to offer.
You know, I have lifelong resident of Madison. My family has been here for generations, so I don't know anything else. Her, on the other hand, she moved to Madison when we got married, so she has a little different perspective of Madison.
Madison is like, they're amazing. The people in Madison, it's the family. You know, everybody's like related to everybody else, which is kind of cool. But like I said, it's just
the sense of community.
Yeah.
You know, people. I've seen it, probably to the point I take it for granted that over the years that people, in times of need, they come together. You know, they treat each other like family, whether they are or not. And the sense of community here, I think, is just what makes it special.
Because there's such a strong sense of community in Rappahannock that there's a sense that we all care for each other. And I don't know how that, I mean, part of it is that it's a small county. But also, there's so many organizations. So, I mean, if you have something to give, there's a place where you can do it, you know, and a real spirit of caring for other people that I think is contagious. Well, I don't know. Rappahannock's lucky to have a lot of people, you know? And we're lucky to be here, let me tell you. I do think that every day, boy.
I'm passionate about Orange. You know, I can be your tour guide Barbie about Orange. Everyone calls me Siri. Hey, Siri, you know, what's this? I don't know. I love the community I live in. The loveliness of it. I can be to DC and Richmond within an hour and a half, but I don't have to live in DC or Richmond. You know, I can be a hop, skip, and jump to Charlottesville, Culpeper, but yet I can come home, and it's, you know, people know each other. They wave on the street or in passing in a car. It's a community.
It's everybody that makes it right. It's not one person that makes it right. It's everybody that makes it right. Everybody that feels the same way about helping veterans and being part of the community. You know, you can either sit back and do nothing, or sit back and watch TV all day, or you can get involved in whatever's going on. There's lots of things that people can do. It's not just Heroes Bridge or Boulder Crest. It's a lot of things that people can get involved with, and especially with kids, that they're missing out about love of this country.
I think just give of yourself. Once you get out there and you give, I've heard it many times. You get back more than you give, and that's a feeling. When I go on these mission trips, I come back feeling like I got more than I gave, and I think you just got to break that ice and step out there and do it, and see what it feels like to give. Why not?
I've always tried to instill in them, I'm sure you did too, is just to do something that they love in life. Because it's going to be a long life if you're working at something you don't enjoy.
And I learned you need to invest the time. And during that period of time, I sort of phased out of some of the charitable work I was doing in order to focus on my personal issues. And you need to do that. You need to place a priority on family. And I did that.
I think that one thing is things change, so that if you're in a bad place, it will get better. That's and that to have faith that things will get better.
Be involved. Be involved. Whether it's a service organization like this, or Rotary, or things like that, or fire department, rescue squad, things like that. I mean, it takes a village. I noticed it more, I think, when my daughters were graduating from high school, all of the scholarships that were being given out. And through the years, Orange used to have Kiwanis Club, Lions Club, Rotary Club, Business and Professional Women's Club, the Junior Women's Club. And a lot of those have gone by the wayside. And with those, a lot of the fundraising and those scholarship opportunities. Now we still have Rotary and we have some others, but a lot of those other clubs are no longer. So people need to be involved. Make a difference. Don't walk by that trash on the sidewalk, pick it up.
You talk about the things I've been involved in. Look at the hundreds of people who have worked doing the same thing I'm doing. I'm not the only one. I mean, it's been a community effort. It's what makes Culpeper so vibrant.
Because it's not about me. It's not about me. It's about these organizations and how they impact the community. And no, they are going to get hurt. If I find out everybody's name, watch out. Yeah, so.
I'm just very honored to have been chosen, though.
I'll just thank Madison for being Madison. I mean, I think we're the getting this, but it's a lot more to it than us. To make Madison Day successful, it's not just her or me or the small group that headed up. It's the community that makes it successful, and that's I feel like we're just here accepting it on behalf of Madison, being Madison.
Yes, I do, and this is really an honor. I have to say, I was really moved. I mean, Hannah, you got to say, there's a lot of competition in this county. There's so many people who give so much to this county, and so to be picked out of that group is truly an honor. I would just like to thank everybody that I work with. I mean, I can't tell you. I mean, I know it's almost a silly thing to say, but the staff of the organizations that I've worked with are really amazing and creative and motivated in a way that gives me so much hope for the community and for the future.
I am deeply honored to accept this award, and I'm humbled by whomever nominated me. It has greatly touched my heart, and I hope to only bring honor to the community that I serve and that I will continue to serve. Thank you very much.